everyone, I'm here today with my festive recommendations video. So you might not be feeling quite Christmassy enough, you want to pick up a book, you're not sure what to read that will help get you in the mood for Christmas, the whole holiday festive season. Well, I've compiled a list here, a ridiculously big list at that, of all the possible books that I could think of that I have currently read that may help you get in that mood. Now, I've got 16 books that I have read. Most of those are 4 or 5 stars. There's a couple of 3 stars thrown in there, but they're special exceptions. Most of them are all really good. Really good. And then I've actually got a further 8 recommendations that I have heard other people mention as really good Christmas reads, but I've not read myself. Now, not all of these books are themed in Christmas themes. Some of them might just have a wintry feel to them, some of them might just have family feeling to them, some of them might have some sort of message behind them that will teach you to sort of appreciate what you've got this Christmas. So the first book I want to talk to you about today is Lawyer for the Dog by Lee Robinson, and I gave that book 5 stars. I don't want to give too long a description for each book, or this really will be a ridiculous long video, but this book is basically about a middle-aged lady who is a lawyer, and she gets asked by her ex-husband to be a lawyer for another couple's dog, as they are currently trying to go through a very messy divorce. And this dog becomes almost like the family best friend, and it's just such a heartwarming, wonderful story. The second book I want to mention is A Christmas Present, The Chronicles of St. Mary's, and that's number 4.5 in the series. I've never read any of the other books, but I did listen to this one on audiobook earlier this year and absolutely adored it. I gave it 3 stars, and if I'd read any of the other series it probably would have made a lot more sense than what it did, so I highly recommend you check that series out so you can check out that audiobook. Book number 3 is A Gift from Bob by James Bowen. Now, if you're not aware of James, he used to be a drug addict who lived on the streets in London, and as part of a totally true story, he met a cat, ended up adopting him off the streets, or rather the cat, who was named Bob, more adopted James off the streets, and they just became the best of friends, really. They still are the best of friends. I recently missed out on going to a signing by them at my local bookshop a month or 2 back because I didn't even realise they were doing it, and I was so gutted. I so want to get a hold of a signed copy and just meet Bob one day. Their other books are also great, but A Gift from Bob is Christmas themed, and it's just beautiful and heartwarming, and of course it's true, and it's so inspiring, and I really just want more people to pick it up. I don't know whether I mentioned, but I gave that one 5 stars. It's amazing. Then we've got A Sister's Gift by Giselle Green, and I can't remember what that one's about anymore. I read that one a couple of years back, but it's these 2 sisters, and I remember it being quite wintry themed in places, and also it's got the whole family links, and I highly recommend you check it out. I gave it 4 stars. It was definitely a good read. I just can't remember much about it right now. Then we have The Secret Dream World of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. Now, this one isn't really Christmas themed in any way, shape or form, or even really overly heartwarming. It's something a bit more light, just in case you need something a bit easier going, something that you can just pick up and put down at the drop of a hat. Also, the handiness about this one is that if you've spent a lot on your Christmas shopping, you will pick up this book and suddenly feel like you're not that poor after all. You have not got that big a shopping problem compared to Becky Bloomwood. Then the next book I want to mention is Tinsel Town by Victoria Fox, and I gave that one 3 stars. Then we have Molly's Millions by Victoria Connolly, and I gave that one 5 stars. And this one is about a girl named Molly who wins the lottery. She was very poor before she won the lottery even, and she basically gives away a lot of her winnings and travels around the country and does different things with it, and it's just absolutely beautifully heartwarming. You really don't think that, well, I don't know whether anyone would actually do it if they won the lottery, but you really couldn't imagine that anyone would actually be that generous, and it's just such a wonderful story. Then we have The 13th Tale by Diane Settlefield, and I gave this one 4 stars. And this was probably more Halloweeny than Christmassy, festive, wintry mood kind of read. Basically, I picked this one up because I remember it being set in kind of dark, wintry, cold months. And it just made me think that there'd be nothing I'd rather do than be in like there's a massive library, or that's how it was in my head in this book, and I would love to curl up in that library and just be able to read and read and read and read. Then we have The Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, or I believe this is also called The Golden Compass in the US. And this is a very, very wintry read. It's been years and years and years since I've read this. I definitely need to read it again soon. And I really can't remember anything at all to say about it. It's YA? I want to say YA. Before YA probably became YA though. And it's about a girl named Lyra. And it's quite fantasy based from what I remember. Then we have A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. No more needs to be said about this one. I thought it's actually really short for Dickens, and although the font's quite small, but it's quite a quick and easy one to get through. And I only read this for the first time last Christmas, and it really helped get me in the mood. I know that a lot of people will have seen all the various different film adaptations, and they're definitely a great idea, but you can't beat picking up the actual book. Then we have The Railway Children by E. Nesbit, and the great thing about this one is that I believe, if I remember rightly, there's a bit where it's set in winter, and also it's got a very strong family feel to it, and the focus on family really just makes this such a wonderful, heartwarming story. Then we've got The Borrowers by Mary Norton, and I've not been giving you all my star ratings for these last ones. So I gave The Northern Lights 3 stars, but it's been years since I've read that, so ignore that. I gave A Christmas Carol 4 stars. I gave The Railway Children 4 stars. And The Borrowers, which I'm just mentioning now, I also gave 4 stars. And I'm not sure whether this one would necessarily make a wonderful Christmas read. Basically, what I'm judging this one off is I used to love watching the show, especially around the winter months. And I just feel like it's got a really festive feel to it. I can imagine just curling up under a blanket with a hot chocolate and immersing myself in the world of The Borrowers. Then we have 101 Dalmatians by Dodie Smith, and it's been years since I've read this one. I gave this one 4 stars too. And if you don't get round to reading this one, then maybe watch the film. You know it's full of snow, you know it's full of heartwarming, lovely puppies, and it's just such a great read. Then we have The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter, and I gave that one 3 stars. I think I maybe read that one at too old an age, if anything, to really properly love it, but it's a fantastic read. You can't go wrong with that one. Next, you can pick up literally any book by J.K. Rowling in the Harry Potter series, but why not read them all if you can, or else pick up this wonderful, beautiful illustrated edition. I just love this book so much. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at the back, it's beautiful. Who doesn't need a bit of Harry Potter in their lives at Christmas? And finally, I've got The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold, and I gave this 5 stars back in the day and I absolutely loved this. Now this is a bit of a dark one for me to pick, I've got to admit. This is about a girl that gets murdered. I'm picking this one, I should probably explain this. I'm picking this one because I feel like the murder happens in winter for starters. I definitely remember it being sort of snowy and cold. It's been years since I've read this, by the way. And also the strong family feeling you get, and like how they try and get through everything that happens in this book really would teach you to basically make the most of every Christmas, because you don't know what will happen in the future. Is my logic on this one. Bit dark, but you know. So the books that I haven't read yet myself, but I would really like to pick up sometime in the festive period one year, I feel like 1 or 2 of these I may have read looking at the list actually, and I just can't remember them well enough to have even given them a rating on Goodreads, and so I've left them marked as unread. So we've got The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, Miracle on 34th Street by Valentine Davies, The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum, and that's the same author who did The Wizard of Oz, in case you're wondering. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, Hogfather by Terry Pratchett, Skipping Christmas by John Grisham, A Charlie Brown Christmas by Charles M. Schultz, and My True Love Gave to Me, which is 12 Holiday Stories, which is edited by Stephanie Perkins and has so many famous authors in it. It was doing the rounds big time around BookTube last Christmas. So yeah, I hope this has given you some ideas on books that might help you get more in the festive mood, books that might just make you feel more Christmassy, that you want to curl up and read under a blanket at this time of year. If you've got any ideas for ones that I can pick up, then please comment down below. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more bookish videos from me, if you want to watch my Vlogmas, if you want to watch lots of book reviews. And I will see you probably in about 15 minutes when I carry on with my vlogging for Vlogmas. Bye bye!